Hello there, my name is Rebeldragon95. This is Yakuza 4, this is the remastered version. Give me a second just to make my screen not be as bright because that is... Oh, that's really bright. I'm so sorry about that. There we go. That's way less bright. I don't know what happened there. My screen's like going nuts there. Alright, cool. So, yes, this is Yakuza 4. Let me get back to the screen so I can actually, like, start the run. Alright. So, for this run, we're going to play on easy mode because easy mode is fast. So, time starts when I press onto easy mode. So, if everyone on tech is ready on time, I'll press it in 3, 2, 1, go. Alright. So, yes. So, Yakuza 4 starts a little bit differently than the other Yakuza games. Yakuza 4, we get to start as a different character. So, instead of playing as the famous Kazuma Kiryu, we start as a guy called Shun Akiyama, who runs a loan company. We have an unskippable cutscene you have to sit through. This is just him walking outside and going in the rain and being like, damn, it's raining. Can't believe it. I believe when this came out, because I didn't play this back on PS3 when it first came out on that console. I played the Yakuza games much later. I think this was like a giant big change when they released this game and you weren't playing as the main man. Right. So he's gonna come here and complain about the rain. And then we got our tutorials we have to do. Every single Yakuza game has fight tutorials and basic tutorials you need to go through for a lot of the different aspects of these games. These games are surprisingly deep, not just like combat simulators. So first thing I'm going to do is we're going to hop into the shop because we need to buy some stuff. We need to buy a Tarana, which ups our heat. And we need to buy 2 things of sake, 3 beers. Right. This guy just talks to us a bunch, gives us some EXP, don't much care about what he has to say. That's Kamaki, he's one of the fighting masters. He'll teach you how to do specific things. You'd never have to visit them in the speedrun, but you can get a load of different moves from the different masters in these games. Right, so this is the tutorial fight for, wow, the first of 2 tutorial fights for Akiyama. Right. So these are the street punks. So I'm going to run over here, open that, ditch that because it's in our way. Drink that menu please, drink that menu please. Grab this guy, smack his butt into that. Grab the bike. Hit those guys, hopefully that guy will get up and I can smash him like that. Pick that up, 1, 2. I've got to do abilities, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. And okay. Alright, cool. Oh, and by the way, you don't actually have to do the tutorial like prompts in this game. You can just ignore them completely, so you can just do an actual strat on that fight. So, something else I brought in that menu, I'm never going to enter the ability menu again with Akiyama. By the way, we no longer need to. I brought Boozer's Law. Basically, we're going to spend the entirety of Akiyama drunk. Because we brought an ability that gives us an attack buff while we're drunk. So we're pretty much going to be abusing that the whole time. Right. A guy runs past us. That's Kiddo, by the way. He comes up a number of times throughout the game. He's actually a pretty important character. We'll talk to him more in a bit. Right. One more tutorial fight we've got to run past. Run down here. I actually have heat, so I can actually do this fight somewhat quickly. If you can get out of the previous fight with having your heat gauge at max, it makes this fight a little bit easier. So what you can do is you can run over here, whip a grab like an idiot, Punch this guy in the gut a few times. Run back here, grab that. Hopefully these guys group together. We can do that. Run over here. Can I like stop that, please? Here we go. That guy's down. Run over here, grab that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good fight. Right. So something else that you do there is the reason why you want to do the heat attacks is because those guys have 2 HP bars, most on all of them, and they're pretty annoying to take down. They're pretty slow just to kick. So getting doubles with the signs and hitting them with the lance is the best option. Right, so something else I've also been doing is all these text boxes, I'm not actually mashing past them. In this engine and in the older engines of Yakuza games, you can just hold R1 and X on these cutscenes and it will skip the text for you. There's certain scenes where you can't do that. If there's a voice in the background when they're like during the text scenes, you have to mash the buttons, but oh. Oh, I missed it. If you can hit that guy before he gets up again, you skip this animation, but I completely messed that up while I damaged him. That's just terrible. But anyway, he's in the face instead. Right, hopefully I'm not too far away and I can just go 1, 2, 3. There we go. Knock him out. We save a little bit of time by skipping that Feel the Heat there. That's like the boss's cutscene. But you want to try and see as little as those as possible. There's skips for basically most of them, or like ways you can damage enemies to skip them all. That one for me is the hardest one. I never get that one because I'm just like booty at it. Right, we're gonna leave here. Right, so I mentioned about the R1X thing. We're gonna actually have a cutscene here where you can't do that. So whenever there's voices like in this scene here, you have to mash X and circle alternatively, and that skips past the text the fastest. Alright. Now we're done with that conversation, we get told to go back to Sky Finance. So that building that we were in at the start of the chapter when you walked out before the unskippable cutscene, we have to head back there. Don't get stuck on the sign. So unlike other engines of Yakuza games, in these older games, all these things on the side, like the side of the pavements and things, are all like physical objects, and you can't really move them. When you walk into them, you just brick into them. So you're really not looking to run into things like that. Something else I'm doing as well is when they ported these games to PlayStation 4 and onwards, so like the PC versions, all that stuff, Xbox, when they improved the loading times, it actually improved the amount of NPCs that spawn in. But if you pan the camera down, it despawns the NPCs to help clear your pathway. You do still have to be careful of fight spawns because they can still spawn in, but yeah, you just have to go and look out for those. But the entire game, you basically go with your camera facing around. I can pretty much navigate all of Kamurocho with my camera facing the floor, which is pretty useful. That's a pretty good Akiyama Chapter 1. Right. So every character has 4 chapters in this, and then we get a finale one. So there's 4 separate characters we're going to be playing as. We'll get into them as we get to the characters. Akiyama here is like the combo character. He does a lot of stuff with like comboing enemies and juggling things. One thing I need to do real quick is I need to chug me a beer. Right, we're going to make a quick stop off at Ebisu Pawn. So years ago, this game used to have a really pretty brutal speedrun route where you had to hit your entire speedrun on a coin flip right at the end of the game. And then someone came along, I can't remember who it was just like, yeah, if we just stack ourselves with metal bats, we can pretty much skip that and not have to worry about it. And metal bats in this game are pretty good. They actually buffed them. So they're in Yakuza 3 just under the name of Bat, but they're not as strong In this game, their attack strength got buffed, so they are very good. So every character, we're going to be buying an amount of metal bats, and we're going to try and carry all of them throughout the end of the game. I'm going to be sandbagging in some locations just because you need to make sure you keep your bat numbers high. So you want to sandbag a little bit, but not like too much. Here. Around here. There's something else which is funny is if you pay attention to these games, like the amount of stairs and which door leads to what place changes in like every single game, and none of them are consistent. And honestly, I'm all for it. It's such a Yakuza thing. Right, so yeah, this is Lily. So Akiyama's main job is he's like a loans person, or a loan shark. So basically, Lily comes in wanting a loan because Akiyama gives abnormally large loans to people if they can pass his particular test. So we're going to put Lily through the test, but we need to go and have another conversation with Kiddo first, which is what this is about. So Kiddo and Akiyama are looking into some stuff. I forget the minute specifics, but yeah. Oh yeah, that's Hana-chan. We appreciate Hana-chan. We love her completely because she's basically the Giga Chad of Akiyama's life. He pretty much falls apart without her there. Alright, so something I wanted... Oh, I've already done that. Cool. Right, so there's another cutscene here when we get to there. So now we head over to Theatre Square. The game doesn't really tell you where you need to go much, but there's... So in this game, this is the only game that has this. You can go to rooftops and like underground areas of Kamurocho. And yeah, you don't need to... and they get taken out in the later games. But this game has like an entire section dedicated to helping you learn those outside areas. What I am also looking for is to make sure I don't get bodied by fight spawns. So, like in all Yakuza games, this game has random encounters. In this game, there's no way to despawn them, or no real way to like walk past them without aggroing them. So the only way you can deal with them is by aggroing them and then running backwards and praying that you don't get stalked by too many NPCs. That's literally the only... It's the only way. Alright, we talk to Kiddo, get another cutscene. Have a nice little conversation with Kiddo again. And then these guys attack us. So he's talking about, like, Lily. And then these boys rock up and they're like, we want to punch you. And Akiyama's like, yeah, we don't do that around here. So instead of punching, I'm going to pull out a baseball bat and clap them with it. Kubo is down. So yeah, they walk up on in a fight with the fist, and Akiyama's like, nah, bruh, it's not happening. We get the bat out and clap him. But yeah. So the special attack I use with the bat there, on any weapon that you own in your inventory, there's a special attack that it has on the circle button. If you pick up a weapon, the circle button throws them, but anyone that you own, you can't throw. So it has a special attack. That there is on the baseball bat. It's called Flurry of Blows. Flurry of Blows is disgustingly broken, so... And it's very good. It's got a wide area. It auto-tracks a tiny little bit, and it's very, very good at knocking enemies down. Yeah, this is a chase section. There's a few of these throughout the game. When you jump, you get a tiny little burst of speed when you land again, so to get through those fast, you just woof on the jump button. There's a couple of them where we have to fight enemies and stuff, and there's one really difficult one that's really annoying, and if you're And if you do it wrong, it can go very, very, very rough for you. Alright, so after we got chased by these guys meet up in the toilet, because where else would you meet someone? And yeah, they were getting spied on, so there's going to be a policeman that's going to walk out to the toilet and be like, what are these boys up to? So he comes up in a bit. That's Saguchi. I think that's how you say his name. I will always say the hardest part of like doing a Yakuza game in a marathon is actually remembering the names of the characters, not actually doing the run. Remembering how all these characters are important or interact in the story, or trying to be like, yeah, that's that guy, don't worry about him too much. Right, so we're actually going to chug a sake before we hit the Kamurocho, man, because we want to refresh our blood alcohol levels. I've gone for. And, okay. Gonna have to do that really slowly. Right. You went to hit both those guys at the same time, but that didn't really work out. I knocked him down and just hit him with the heat move. Right, so this is a boy. This is Saigo. Saigo is one of the trainers in this game. We're not really going to speak to him, but while we're talking to him, we do get pickpocketed. So we're going to chase after this man in the black that pickpocketed us real quick. Right, so chases when you have to hit someone are kind of pretty difficult because you have to catch up to a target and then hit him. Oh, the tutorial bodied me there. Look at that. Okay. There you go. That was really annoying because I whiffed one of those hits. Yeah, now we got the guy. Saigo's impressed with us because that was one of his pupils. And then we're gonna have a short conversation. Then we're just gonna go. No, we're not gonna talk to you again, bruv. Go to a nice area on a roof. So if you talk to this guy, he gives you like abilities you can use. I believe he gives you like Akiyama's version of Tiger Drop and stuff eventually. I can't remember exactly where a lot of these things come from, because this game's got a lot of content in it and it's been a while since I've sat down and done all of it. Right. Now we've got to take a quick pit stop back to Sky Finance again, because that's where everything leads back to. Try not to run into too many people and slow down too much. Again, camera pan down, navigate all of Kamurocho with the camera facing the floor at this point. Oh, there's a fight spawn. If you heard that guy go, what in the background, that's a fight spawn. He's running after me right now, and I can only just outrun him, so. Annoyingly, you need to go into this alleyway here multiple times. There can be a fight spawn stood right in front of it, which is very annoying, and the fight spawn triggers actually, like, have higher priority over cutscene trigger. So if there's one right there when you're walking up to it, then yeah, you just get clouded by the fight spawn if you're not careful. You have to go around the long way, which I had to do in a run the other day. Here's Saguchi. I can't know. But yeah, so he's here talking at us because we're suspicious in the case that he's looking at. Meanwhile, you're just like, nah, bro, I'm just a lone guy. Can I talk to my customer, please? It's just walked in. Alright. So, now we're going to start off Lily's test, because I mentioned that she's looking for a giant loan. I believe it's around 3 million yen or something she's looking for. Or something large. I can't remember the exact amount. It's in the text somewhere. But yeah, so Akiyama puts people... No, that's how much he needs to earn to get the money, sorry. It's an abnormally large amount. But basically, Akiyama puts all of his people through tests. So we're setting up for a test now. Can I... Camera, please. Right, so something they did when they moved this game and they upped the FPS from 30 to 60, the movement engine Gets a little bit jank sometimes. You really have to deft grip the controller to like do things. Right, run over here. This is the dress store. I'm gonna buy that one. Oh, I've got a camera. Around here, up here. Camera facing the floor as usual, because why would it be any different? Walk into La Marche. Right, we need to buy just something from here. We just buy the first item in both of these locations, because obviously it's less inputs. Akiyama here owns a hostess club. So he's going to put her to work in the hostess club, which is why you buy her a nice dress and a necklace. Alright, going to make sure that I'm okay. That is a fight spawn there, that guy in the brown. Not one round here. There it's not. Okay, good, we're good. Okay, we are good on that front, alright. So this is the club Elise. It's the club that Akiyama owns. We're gonna quickly change her into our nice dress. Sorry if I'm moving around a little bit. My chair's not. My room's a bit stuffy today. Alright, so now we've set her up, we're going to just go a few little cutscenes of him explaining the ropes of the test. The ropes of the test is she needs to earn 3 million yen in a few days. It might look like I'm going really wide here, but there's actually a sub-story, which is like the game's little side story, side questy things, with a giant hitbox that's there. So you need to go around a little bit wide there to make sure that you're not going to hit it. The guy in the red is a fight. Bugger, he turned around. Around, bro. That's really annoying. But whenever you get into a fight spawn, you lose 30 seconds, around 25 to 30 for getting into the fight spawn, and then you lose time based on, how many enemies are in the fight spawn and how many HP bars they have, etc. Oh, I've gone to the wrong freaking area, haven't I? Excuse me while I make a mistake that costs me a lot of time. I need to go over here. I do apologise about that. I need to go to the Champion District. I'm like losing my brain right now. I'm on the section after this one. What am I doing? Alright, sorry about that. I wasted so much time going over there. This is where I'm meant to be going. Oh, it's a square. Where am I going? I'm so sorry about this. I should know where I'm going, but obviously, evidently, I don't while I'm trying to talk and play at the same time. There we go, and then we got to go to I know where we're going now. My brain is not it, bro. That's so much time lost, bro. No. Oh, camera as well. It's up here. Then it's Champion District. Oh, I feel so stupid right now. Oh well. Gotta make a big mistake at some point. My brain confused chapter 3 and chapter 4 for a second there. There's a fight spawn behind me apparently. Yep, so now we got to hop over to... Now we're going to Champion District. Now that I've solved my equation in my head of where the hell am I going. Did that go... It didn't look like a fight spawn, but I don't trust it. Okay, that's another fight spawn. Go. There we go. Jesus Christ, man. Right. Another fight here we've got to do real quick. I'm gonna grab it. That. Just shoot the first one. I know where we are now. God damn it, bro. And that's the end of chapter 3. Oh, I'm so annoyed I did that. Okay, so at the start of chapter 4, we have another quick cutscene here. Well, I say quick, it's a long cutscene. With Akiyama and Kiddo going on a bit of their backstory stuff about what they've been doing. Right, so we've got a nice double mash scene here. Basically, Akiyama's going on about how he used to work for a big company and then got framed for embezzlement and then got fired and then was made. Then basically, due to the financial loss, became homeless. And then when Kiryu blew up at the top of wow, I say Kiryu. When Kiryu's fight at the top of the Millennium Tower in Yakuza 1 blew up the vault with a ton of money in it and it all started flying down, Akiyama basically collected a bunch of money and invested it and then made a load of money through that, get back on his feet, and now he becomes Big Loan Shark Man. Right, so now we're doing the part which I thought we were doing in chapter 3, but you know, I obviously don't know how to do this speedrun. We're gonna now go to Club Elise and then go do what I thought we needed to do. The guy in purple's the fight spawn, we're on the way in. Right, so this game actually has got like a club mini game thing. That guy in grey is also a fight spawn, so we wanna hope he doesn't turn around. Okay. Right, so this game also has a club mini game thing, which we do as Akiyama. We train the girls and get them to earn money, etc., etc. for the club. So currently, with this is the tutorial side of it, where we're just gonna deal with Lily here. So we need to roam around the club, but there's actually a quick way you can do this. If you walk over here and walk to this 3 times, walk back, he goes, yeah, I've done my surveying now, and then you can just leave. and you do that 3 times. You have to go through the club stuff a couple of times, so there's a couple of these sections where you have to do this. Go. Oh, really active armor. Done yet? There you go. That was so silly. I probably didn't walk far enough past the pillar before I started talking to her. Before I started talking thing. There you go. Oh, I have to do it the second time. Right. Now that's the end of the club section here. Now we're going to go over here to Champion District, avoiding what we can. Yeah, this is what I thought we were doing in the last chapter, and then I remembered Theatre Square. I re-looked at my notes. That guy in the red's a Feistborn. He nearly turned around and caught me. That's very silly that I lost time to that Feistborn for no reason. There can actually be a Feistborn around this corner, in front of the cutscene trigger, which we need to hit, which can be very annoying. By luck, there's going to be one there. There is not one there. So there could be on that corner there, because we need to talk to this door. Right, so Akiyama's doing a little bit of investigating work because he's looking into something that Kido or someone said to him. So we're going to go into this club here, the Drama Queen, or the bar area. Find a nice dead body back here, because of course we would. So we're going to investigate a couple of things in the room, and then we're going to leave. You want to try not to look at the blood, because the blood isn't what we need to look at. I need to look at the lighters and this. So the lighter is one that Lily had earlier, and there seems to be one missing from the lineup. So Akiyama now starts to suspect that Lily is up to no good with the money that she's trying to get from him. We're gonna run up here. So rather than running across the whole town to get to where we need to get to, we're just gonna run up here and take a taxi. In the later games, there are a lot more taxi spots than there are in this game. This game has more than Yakuza 1, 2, and 3 though, so that's pretty useful. Yakuza 3 literally has 2 taxi spots available. It's got 3, but you only got like 2 options in every one. So we're going to go down here. Let's go back to Sky Finance. For me, this is one of the more pointless trips to Sky Finance. If I remember correctly, this is the one that we need to do. Oh wait, no, this is the kidnapping one. There we go. So we walk in, and Hana is on the floor with a trashed office, and some guy came in and kidnapped Kido, so we got to go and get him back.
Oh.
Alright, this is Mac. Mac is a dude that that shows you how to do revelations. Revelations is like a mechanic in some of these games where you get out your phone and you record a really silly thing happening in the overworld, and then you do a couple of QTEs, answer a question about it, then you unlock a move from doing it, or you unlock something from doing it. Max like the tutorial, but sadly we can just go, nah, we're not gonna do that right now. You just walk away. Alright, so we're going to make another trip up to Theatre Square. This is the dude we need to talk to. Making sure that we're not going to run into enemies. A guy in the blue hoodie there, that's a Feistborn there. You get very good at knowing kind of generally which enemies are Feistborns and which ones aren't when you play these games. so he tells us they went by the lockers. There's actually a little shortcut we can take to where we need to get to. We go down here. I talk to these guys. They tell us that they saw a dude out through here. Now we're going to go into the underground. So there's an entrance to the underground through this big blue door here, so we're going to run through that. That through there. Up here, and there we go. So this area opens up more to us after this, but here's where we are now. So we're going to walk in here. See, there are some guys that are up to no good in here. We're going to pull out the baseball bat and back with it. This guy kicking the face. There we go. Oh, I need to refresh my alcohol levels in a second, so I need to drink a sake. I'll drink that to fill up some space. Drink sake, one. Right, so Akiyama is 17. You want to make sure you don't use all of them. It's actually really difficult to use all of them, to be honest with you, as Akiyama. Don't have that many fights to do. Where you need to be spamming them. You can sandbag a little bit here and there, but using all 17 is pretty, like... If that happens, it can be a little bit easier, but, you know. Right, these enemies here are pointless, we don't need to fight them, so we're going to run straight past them. Go to this room here. This is Kasai. He's actually an important fight, by that I mean he's a required one. I'm going to run forward and... There we go. Past this guy. Guy. He tells us about a locksmith he knows, so we're going to go and find him. We're going to put a metal bat for the way. Move out of the way, chair, please. This dude I need to speak to is a background here. There he is. Right, so he just says, I'm not a fighter, so can you clear the way for me? So we're going to do that. Ready? So we walk into the store, and basically we couldn't go through this door, so he goes, I know a locksmith, and this dude's just a locksmith. So he's going to pick the door for us. Up these stairs. Up on that guy. You blocked me twice. Right, we're going to walk through here. There's going to be enough fight we need to do. Hi. Another locked door, so this guy's going to pick it for us. So this is the Professor Dude, as we're gonna call him. That was an amazingly good fight, holy moly. I have a Batman. Cool. Alright. This is Kiddo. This is Midorikawa. He's going to shoot me a couple of times when the fight starts, because you can dodge it, but I always suck at dodging it, so... Okay, that was good one. Oh my god. You get hit, please. Oh, thank you, bro. Hopefully the gun spawns in a location shot and you can use that. That was slightly annoying. So he comes back in with big chainsaw like he's doing now. So you can't skip this, you're gonna need to do this one. Let's see if the gun's okay. Cheers. You can shoot the gun. Oh, we got a couple of shots, so we had to throw a chair. I didn't want to use the back because I've already used a little bit more than what I'm comfortable with at this point, so I didn't want to over use my backs. But that's the end of that dude. You can use bouncing him if you want to. I think it's a little bit faster, but I prefer using the gun on him. Right, so now we're done with that. I need to take a quick stop. This is the stop I feel like is very silly for going to Sky Finance because you leave immediately. We've got to make a quick pit stop at Sky Finance. Just a small one. Avoiding the dude in black. You are kidding me. Okay, this is already going poorly. Also going to get that unlocked now. So in this game, when you see moves enough times, you get upgraded versions of them. You don't normally get Akiyama's one. But I got it there because I got into multiple fight spots. He just gives me money. And my next, that's actually not terrible. I can give that to Bajima later in the run. Okay, we're going to make a quick stop at Sky Finance. Just to leave immediately. This is the stop I feel like is the most pointless stop at Sky Finance. But you know, we've got to do it for story reasons. Hopefully I don't get caught by another fight spawn on the way out. As I said, we got another club thing. We got to do. That guy in the brown is a fight spawn. Yep, he's running at me. Oh my word, scary boy. We're in the club now, so we're safe for a minute from being marred by fight spawns. So this one is a little bit different. She sat on a chair this time, the bar, so we want to pass her a little bit. Go 3 times. Back. There we go. This just saves us walking around a bunch and waiting for that. Kind of time skips it a little bit. I can't tell you the exact reason for why it works, but it just works. I'm going to talk to her 4 times because I don't think my positioning's right. And that is the end of the club stuff for now. By that I mean we don't need to come back here again. Right, so now we got to go back to Sky Finance because we need to wait for the results of Lily's test. That was only a check-in, that wasn't actually us finalising the test. So I'm going to make a quick pit stop and then we get to the ending part, well, more close to the ending part of Akiyama's chapter 4. Hopefully there's not a guy in the area. Nope, as I said, there could be a guy that spawns right here, which is very annoying. Up here into there we go. Now we walk in and we get a phone call immediately saying, she's passed the test, don't worry about it. So Akiyama here is going to be like, cool, let me prepare all the money for you. Now we get the big briefcase with money in it. We're going to head to the Millennium Tower. So we asked to meet her there to give the money over. All the money she needs is in this big block. Alright. So, hopefully, I don't believe you can get fight spawns here, but I can tell you that the metal box I'm holding, you use it as a weapon later in the game, and it's probably one of the best one-handed weapons in this game. It's surprisingly good. Right, so you actually walk further than where you are after the cutscene, which is very funny there. We have to come here a couple of times in this run. We don't come back here though until the finale, so the finale takes place is on here. Head to the roof. Get this cutscene. She goes, should I check the money? He goes, I wouldn't do that right now. On top of a big roof, you don't want to lose any of it. This is where he tells her his like returns deal and I guess no interest rates and whatever. I don't know how the hell he makes money, but, you know, he just gives money away to people. I guess he just makes all of his money from the businesses he owns, and then he just uses that to give out whatever he can. Now Hannah phones us and says she's being released from the hostel. So basically, she went to the hostel after she got attacked in the office. And somehow the office got cleaned up in the meantime as well, despite us not being there. That's just him saying we can go do more club stuff if we want. We don't want to do that. I want to not go that way because that guy in black is a fight black and red. And with my track record already with Akiyama, I don't want to risk it. I've already messed up enough with this guy. That guy in the red is also a fight spawn. He has more HP bars than other fight spawns. That's also a fight spawn as well. Dude, I'm getting hit with all of them. Right. So I'm going to run around here. This takes a little bit longer to get back here, but... Right, so Hannah gets annoyed because we just gave away a boatload of money. And she's like, what the hell are you doing, Akiyama? You are an irresponsible man, and then runs away. So we're going to do the only responsible thing a man can do, and that's chase the woman through the streets. Because that logic makes sense. So again, it's a chase, so I'm going to just jump over and over again, because when you jump, you gain a burst of speed when you land, so I'm woofing on the jump button right now. Also trying to avoid running into NPCs because you clank on them and you slow down. Something I'm going to be doing as well is NPCs won't spawn if the camera isn't on the area, so I'm going to keep the camera to the side here and just navigate my way past around the cars and then up into the spot, which is the end of the chase. Alright. This is when Hannah tells Akiyama that she quits, she's done. She's going away. She comes back at the end of the game because happy ending and all that for Akiyama at the end of this game, despite all the crap that happens to him later in the series. So she leaves, and then we're going to get a phone call saying that there's a guy attacking the club police, so we got to head back there. So the guy says he's looking for Lily, which obviously brings up red flags for Akiyama because he's just given her a metric crap ton of money. That guy in blue is a fight spawn. I'm pumping the camera a little bit here because you can get random fight spawns on this area. I'm pumping the camera to despawn the NPCs to make sure I'm not going to run into anything. The guy in the red and black is still there. And the blue and black is a fight spawn. Again, going around here to avoid the fight spawn. Or the fight spawn, the sub-story. And this is Minami. So we get a nice little dynamic intro before that, where he tells us he's going to squash our balls like grapes. A big pair of marbles on him. Right, now I need to press... Oh no, I've only got a side back. I need one more out. Alright, that's Minami. So nice and easy, just whack him with the bat a few times. Right, so that's the end of Akiyama. I'll be real, I completely got bodied by Akiyama there. Part of that was my fault, part of that was the fight spawns. But we take those. Right, so now we get to play as Saejima. Saejima? I can't even talk right now. Saejima here is in prison because he completed a hit 25 years ago where he killed like 13 different people in one hit. So basically he's been on death row for a long time because he apparently did a massive hit. Well, he did. He knows he did it, but yeah. So here's a tutorial fight. And so here's what you actually have to do. You don't have to do it, but if you level up when you get to the end of this thing, if you level up during the ending screen of this fight, the ending screen takes forever to go through, so you actually want to level up before that, otherwise this slowdown takes like triple the amount of time. So you want to sandbag a little bit there to make sure that you level up, because Saejima's best attacks are his charged finishers. So you want to make sure that you're doing those. And that tutorial is for the charge finishers, and it gives you bonus EXP for completing it. Which is why you need to make sure you sandbag a little bit. So, this is Hamazaki. Hamazaki is a character from Yakuza 3, which didn't really do that much, but at the end of the game, he stabs Kiryu. And then ends up in prison for it. So he's going to go over an escape plan with us because he wants to break Saejima out of prison. Because he believes there is more to Saejima's Hitman case than what was originally thought from 20 years ago, whenever it took place. So this is going over the whole plan. Basically, they're going to try. They're going to break out. Saejima's going to distract the guards, and then Hamazaki's going to get the keys to get out. And then they're gonna run away. And they just need a way to get out of this part of the grounds. So we can talk to that guy. That's Kamiyama. If you know Kamiyama, he's the weapons guy from Yakuza 3 and some of the other games. He can customize weaponry and stuff. So we're gonna ask him to make us like a grappling hook. So he just needs some certain materials for it. So we're gonna go grab those materials for him. Oh, I forgot to buy combo boost speed. I need to buy that. Please die, thank you. You have to finish that before the timer ends, because otherwise the guards come and break up the fight. So these guys give us a I can't remember what it was, but they give us a thing that helps us. They give us a MacGuffin. So we're gonna go back to talk to Kamiyama to ask her what the next MacGuffin we need is.
Hi.
So we need to talk to someone who is doing the farming stuff. We're gonna go back here. These two guys at the back are, so we're gonna talk to this guy. He talks about farming. This guy, and he goes, I'll give you a hoe if you give me a cigarette. So we're gonna go do that. We need a cigarette from this guy. Right. This guy goes, how can I smoke it without a lighter? So we got to go find a lighter. Luckily, there's a lighter that spawns out here, which we can go grab. The actual item location for the lighter isn't there unless you talk to the guy and ask him. Here's your cigarette, and he goes, I need a lighter for that, you idiot. And you're like, for God's sake. So we go, I need some water. Walk completely the opposite way of the water fountains, and then come back in without getting any water, and they don't question you. Go over here. Give this guy what he wants, and then he's like, I love that line, now let's have that hoe. Saejima, please. Right, so Saejima is actually pretty unique in this game. So he can actually hit enemies when they're grounded with his, like, first charge finisher from his weak into charged finisher, which is pretty unique. It's pretty good actually, because you can keep enemies grounded with it. So now we've got that. We have built a grappling hook, so we're gonna go over here. Kamiyama also goes, I'm not a snitch, so I'm gonna tell anyone what you're doing anyway. Go to Hamazaki. He goes, find a place to hide it. And in front of everyone, we're going to go, oh, here's a place to hide it. Lift up this brick and put it underneath it. That's the end of that section. So, now we are starting our breakout now. So here's the prison guard. So, I'm going to quickly buy some abilities. Want to buy that one. Want to buy That one. I'm just gonna punch these guys. That was alright. Right, so now we've beaten those guys up. We're gonna nip a key from this guy and get on with what we're doing. Director's office. Right, so now we've got to head to the director's office like the game told us to. Something I'm going to be doing in this section is there's items everywhere. I'm trying to avoid picking up items because we don't need them, and it just makes the menu a little bit later slower. That guy basically tiger dropped me. What is he doing? Here. Get a couple of QTEs upcoming now, which are pretty goofy. The tap on the ground is pretty iconic for me. I love it. It's just very funny. Oh, wrong way. Over here. That one. There's another one here that goes. Oh, I pressed X like 3 times, game. And here's the guy that we just fought in the other room. This is Sato. I don't know how the hell he got ahead of us. So we're gonna hit him there. Sorry, if you let him get up, he does a 45-second QTE, which you don't want him to do. I have to make sure he died. Where is he? There he is. Right, so he gives us a card key, which we can open this door. This item here we grab anyway, because it's right in front of where we need to go. We can run through here. Hamazaki's in here, getting all we need to get out. Also looking for some evidence, etc., etc., but we're gonna take care of these cards. I now have double finisher, so Kaiju's the only character we buy double finisher with because he actually kind of needs it, because you can't really rely on enemies staying on the ground sometimes with the weak hit into charge, so punch into strong. Also, it makes a couple of things a little bit faster, like dealing with these doors here in this room a little bit faster. Now Hamazaki's going to go deal with the sniper while we break through the doors. Shoot me. These guys can throw things like sort of grenades and stun grenades and things, so you can get hit by those. Sometimes it's you can't have a bit like that one there. I had no shot of dodging that, so sometimes you get hit. Hopefully what happens is you get hit by that, then some guy comes up behind you and smacks you to knock you out of it. Run up here, Hamazaki comes out of the grate here and smacks that guy up with the sniper. That guy actually held me out there. He animation cancelled me. I'm gonna run through here, leaving all those guards alive in classic Yakuza fashion. You don't have to deal with half the enemies. So I'm gonna run down the stairs. Come into this room here. We actually have to fight the guys that appear in this room because they get in our way. So hopefully Hamazaki actually does some good stuff here, because he can absolutely body some of these guys. But ideally what you're looking for is you're looking for doubles and triples. By that I mean, when I hit multiple enemies at once, I call that a double or a triple. Get bonus damage on other enemies. That guy really screwed me there. Over here. Run up to this corner where we kept our stuff. Then who do we have here? But it's Saito back again for round 3. You want to take care of the guys on the outside because you don't want to get in the way of you fighting Saito. We're going to grab the gun. We're going to shoot Saito a bunch of times. Throw it. Punch him. Like that. There you go. Good Saito fight. And that's the end of chapter 1 for Rebeldragon. We've now escaped the prison. That was a really good chapter 1 for Rebeldragon. Right, so this chapter is actually pretty simple. It's pretty short. So when we escaped from the prison, we washed up on the beach in Okinawa. And what happens to be in Okinawa on the beach? Yeah, it's Kiryu's orphanage. So we're going to say hi to Haruka for a second here. A nice long conversation with Kiryu now. Basically, Saijuma's not really going to tell Kiryu much about him. He's just going to be like, I need to go to Kamurocho. Could you, like, you know, can you help a brother out here and give me some money to get there? And Kiryu's going to go, I know who you are and what happened because I went and spoke to the Coast Guard and they said a prison break happened on a prison off the coast of Okinawa. And then because in true Yakuza fashion, they need to, you know, decide how they feel about each other and, you know, the strength of their resolve. We're going to have a lovely cheeky little boss fight here with Kiryu. And this Kiryu doesn't mess around. He has Tiger Drop. He has Kamaki counter. He has everything. He's hard to grab. He's hard to throw. He's really he can be really difficult. He can actually body the crap out of you if you're not careful. So I'm going to try and not get destroyed by Kazuma Kiryu here. So you want to grab him, throw him. Cool. I didn't get too bodied. That's a pretty decent fight, actually. And because it's Kiryu, he doesn't lose. In that cutscene, Saejima kind of, like, shows signs of still being hurt, because he's obviously still hurt from his prison break. So Haruka goes, you need to stop fighting now, which is obviously the smart thing to do. And Kiryu basically asks Haruka, is it okay to give him the money? And she goes, it should be. And he's like, alright, we're doing it then. And skip a couple of cutscenes. That's into chapter 2 for Saejima. You just roll through that one. Pretty short and sweet. Right, so his last two chapters aren't like that. His last two chapters are kind of long. So now we're in Kamurocho again. Sajima here's got his nice trench coat on with the camo looking trousers. So we're meant to go up to East Park Boulevard to look for our old Yakuza base of operations. But first things first, we actually want to come down here and go into this Popo store. Because we want a couple of things. We want this locker key, because this locker key is an item that we can sell for a lot of money. And this guy, we want to buy a sake. And now I'm going to go over here. Up here. Around here, down here. Right, so we need to go around into here, because this is where Sajima's old base of operations for his Yakuza family used to take place. Talks to this homeless guy, and he goes, "It's not been like that for a long time, buddy. There's this homeless guy that you can go talk to, and he should be able to help you." We're going to be like, okay, we're going to go find that dude. That dude is in the underground mall, so we're going to go to the central parking lot, which is the underground. Go through exit B here, because that takes us directly to him. And he's going to talk a little bit, and then he's going to be like, "Oh, I want something to drink, though." And you could be like, "Okay, I've got some sake here that I can give you." And that's why you need to buy the sake, because it's just the easiest thing to buy to give to him. And then he gives us information about the fact the family broke apart, etc., etc. Now we need to go back to East Park Boulevard, because we need to go to Champion District now. Around here, down here. Go around here. Hopefully there's not a bicycle around here, because it can be won by this car. There's one there. Hopefully he gets bored. Not bored. Okay. Right. Good Champion District. And now we run into Kiddo. And Saitama overhears Kiddo talking about a bunch of stuff, and then he mentions the Jibata family. And he's like, "What are you doing? What are you talking about? I need to know more."
Yeah.
Oh. And then Kiddo goes, "Oh no," and runs away. So we're going to chase Kiddo down. This is the hardest chase in the run. Because that can happen. Right, you want to sandbag a little bit here. You just want Kiddo to get tired and not run away from you. Okay, Kiddo. There you go. Right. I wasn't too good, but wasn't too bad. Could have been worse. Right, so now we call Kiddo. We're gonna be like, "I need your help, bro," and then we're gonna be nice now and ask him for help. we're gonna head to the hideout. Kiddo here actually runs slower than you by a large margin, so we're gonna just run ahead of him a little bit to grab the locker key that I grabbed earlier in the popo. Here we go. He catches up to us now. Now I've got to run in here. He's slower than us again, so we're gonna have to wait for a second when we get down to the end of here, but I can just do that a couple of times and then catch up a little bit. Hello, dude. I learned the hard way. If you go through this door earlier than he does, you can't do this cutscene. He just goes back and waits for you to wait for him to get to the door. We've done that. We're gonna leave. And on the way out, this homeless guy, he's having like a panic attack. Thomas is like, "Can you come help me? Can you come help me?" And you're like, "What?" And then you run after him.
Oh yeah.
Right, so this is when you get introduced to the sewer area, this game. And you use that a lot to get around in the chapter 4 of Legend, and use it a little bit in Kiryu's part as well. So the reason why he's come and seeked help is because his friend, the master, or like this guy that's the head of digging this tunnel, getting like harassed by these dudes, and he's like, "Can you please help him?" And you're like, "Sure, I can help him." Right. Easy. Having double finisher makes a lot of the regular enemies free to deal with, because Saijima's attacks are so wide and have such massive hitboxes that you can just like chug through them. So this guy explains about digging. You can do digging if you want to. We don't need to, but we can do. Alright, so now we settle down here. Right, before we leave the sewer, there's actually a dude we need to talk to. The game doesn't tell you this. If you try and leave by the sewer entrance, the Saijima goes, "I need to find out more information about this guy I need to speak to." So if we come back here and talk to this one dude here, he tells us about a guy called the Florist, and then we're going to go find the Florist. And if you're unaware, the Florist is a character that is in a lot of the other Yakuza games with doing various things, but their main job is they run like an information network using homeless people reporting stuff in, a bunch of cameras, all this stuff. Basically, if anything's happening in the city of, in Tokyo or Cambridge or whatever, he knows what's happening. So you're meant to go up to East Park Boulevard now, but we're actually going to make a quick stop down to this end. Because we're down this end of the map, we need to go to Ebisu Pawn, because as I said earlier in Akiyama's part, when we brought our baseball bats, we're going to buy more bats. Saijima here actually has enough money to buy 20 of them, because Big Boy got big pockets despite being in prison for a while. So we're going to fill up our pockets with baseball bats, and then we're going to go up to find the Florist. So first things first, I'm empty my pockets here. And roll 20. Right. Now, fight spawns can spawn down this road, so you need to be careful a little bit. Sometimes coming out of every spawn. It's not. I can't really give you a percentage chance of how often it happens, but it does happen. Right, so basically the entrance to Purgatory, as it's called, used to be up here, in the toilets back here. But since Yakuza 2, it's become a building site, which is for a place called Kamurocho Hills. So it's no longer there. So we need to find a different entrance. So we're going to go to West Shinjuku Street. Walking down the pavement here to avoid the sub-story on the right there, where that guy's hitting the guy in yellow. Or why, it's more beigey cream, isn't it? And there's a dude in a construction hat here that we're going to speak to. As we know, anyone in a construction hat is the most trustworthy person ever. I'm going to talk to this guy, Sarumi. We're going to go, I promise I'm not going to tell anyone about what you tell me, and he tells us how to get into Purgatory. And the way to get into Purgatory is in the park back here. Again, we're going to avoid the sub-story by going a little bit wide here to make sure we're okay. Into the park here, and there's some thugs at the back of the park here. Oh no! So we're gonna do what we do best. We're gonna pull out the bat. Wow, that guy. Who are you, dude? I only ever used one fire blows there. Yeah, you made me use two. And they clear out the way, now we can access the manhole. Manhole access completed. Alright. So this is the North Sewer. There's different sewer areas that you can go through in this game. This one here leads directly to Purgatory, which is where we need to go now, so that's where we're heading. Kiryu does come down here a little bit later. We use it again as Saejima, because now it's the only way in and out of Purgatory with Kamurocho Hills up the top. We come up here, and this is like an entire gambling ring area. It's in loads of other games, so if you've seen it. If you've seen the other Yakuza games, this place appears a lot. So here's the florist in this room. Nice, a big office.
You.
And he's going to ask us to ask about Purgatory. We're going to ask about the florist. Right, so in order to earn the right to gain the information that we want, he asks us to participate in his arena. Basically, Saejima doesn't have any money, and Florist doesn't normally care about that. He's like, I want to know that your resolve is good or whatever. So we're going to have a quick fight here against this bro. This is Ivan. I can't say his surname without Britishifying it, which is not good. Okay. We want to try to keep this guy on the ground. Silent there. That guy has another QTE that you can avoid by being good and doing that. And that's the end of chapter 3 with Saejima. good chapter, actually. Not a lot went overly wrong. It was mostly the fight before Purgatory that went wrong. Right, so now he's going to tell us about a bunch of stuff. Basically, this game's big twist is that the hit that Saejima did is not what it seems. I'll go into it a little bit more when we're playing as Tanemura, the next character, because it makes more sense then, because that's where everything gets revealed about it. So this guy, his homeless friend gets beaten up a little bit. So I'm going to be like, nah bro, we need to help him out. Right, so now we gotta go to our hideout. Throughout all of Kamurocho, there's a bunch of policemen everywhere now, so we have to take an extraordinarily specific route to where we need to go. Because there's police blocking everywhere. Now, I will say, I've not been involved in this. There have been ways discovered to skip one of the policemen to like make the thing a little bit faster, but it relies completely on NPCs pushing them in the right direction to get them out of the way, so their detection range isn't in your way. So we don't do that at all. It's very unreliable. First things though, we have to deal with Sadachi here. I'm gonna say no because I don't like dealing with Sadachi. So this is a side mode thing where Saejima can help train karate people. There's a nice set of dumbbells there actually. Bro's got all the dumbbells. But yeah, so you want to say no to this guy because otherwise you're here for a long time. One of those side modes that has like a pretty good story mode and stuff with it, and it's pretty fun to manage the bros and their exercise routines and such. We don't need to do it. Right, so now we're in the walking section. So on my map in the bottom left, there's all those little purple circles. The purple circles are policemen, static policemen. We don't want to deal with them, so you move in the right direction, please, Saejima. Right, so during this section we're going to be using the rooftops and stuff to go wherever we need to go. So we get a nice like aerial view of everything that's happening. I really like these rooftop areas in this game. It's kind of sad they didn't come back in the later games. Right, so we're going to turn this corner here by this little building here. We don't need to go forward, we need to go right. Look, it's Kamiyama. He also broke out of prison, but we're not Stitch, so we're not going to snitch on him. This way, up here, out here, up here. I'm more annoyed I remembered where to go there and I forgot what I had to do in chapter 2 of Akiyama. That's definitely a me moment right there. Get the thing! Alright, cool. Out here. And now we've got to go around here, down here. So if I go silent at any point during this, I want to make sure I get this right, because if you get caught by the police in this section, game over, and you go back to the start of the movement section, which loses you minutes. So you want to make sure you get this right. It's very annoying. So if there was a way we could skip past all this, please, for the love of God, help us. Through the eagle, like the eagle. I do like this song in the background though. It plays throughout this section. Very jazzy. Make sure my movement isn't stuck here. I'm gonna go down here now. Down around here. Out our friend, the big blue door. Right now, at the big blue door, we're going to run around here. There is another underground area we need to go to, another car park. Down here. Not car park, it's this. So if we could avoid that policeman that's by the escalator, this entire section could be avoided. So that entire, like, 6-minute bloody walking section is just to avoid that one policeman in the underground area there. Oh, no. Right, so now we got a nice showdown. Right, you can leave, but you want to actually go back in here and talk to Kiddo, because this is the next flag. Want to take a break? Get that cutscene. Now we got to go back through half of what we just did. So again, if we could avoid this policeman up here, our lives would be so much easier. If we could avoid that bro behind me there, that guy there, if we had a way to dodge him, then yeah, this entire section would be moot. We would save a boatload of time. Around here. One thing I do like about this though is you get the nice big, like, you get a nice view of like how like kind of large. It's weird. The camera is both small and large in these games, so I really like how this game accentuates it by having you do an entire walking section to get around it to like avoid people. Because usually when you want to avoid stuff in these games, you just taxi. But in this, you need to actually know where you're going. There is a set route, but like you still have to understand like the streets of Kamurocho to some level. So we've got to go back around here again. We don't get the jazzy music anymore though on this part, so that's sad. That's Depression City right there. Down here. Down here. Out the E door, we got to go back to the B, to the... Is it? No, it's a manhole we go down now. We don't need to go to the B door, or any of those doors. We go down the manhole now. Right, now we're in the sewer now. Didn't mean to get my tootsies wet there. Around here, and this takes us up to Millennium Tower, which is where we need to go. And here's Minimi and all the boys. So we got a mob fight we got to deal with before we get to the final boss of this chapter. So this is the Majima family. What I'm doing is I'm just trying to not get grabbed by dudes. Positioning myself to hit multiple people with my bats. Do weak attacks when I need them. That guy. That guy. Alright, cool. There's some big guys here, we're gonna do that. My back usage. I'm actually gonna punch these guys for the end of this one. Alright, cool. Right, so we've got a couple of more waves here. I want to only try and use one bat on this one. Then I want to recharge my bats before I end. Oh, okay. Now it's time for Minimi. Minimi has more HP this time, so you want to kind of be careful with him. That to him. Oh, okay, I missed the bloody action. Of course. Now he's going to drink a bunch of alcohol and become Charizard real quick. Becomes a little bit harder to hit him when he's like this, but he'll be okay. Okay, that was pretty poor. I'm going to need to give myself some more bats for the final fight here. Punch that guy, do that. Right. I'm going to stand up for 2 seconds during this cutscene because my knee is killing me. Oh! There we go. And then we've got a nice dynamic intro here. Right. There we go. But yeah, so we've got a nice little fight with Majima here. I do need to give myself an extra bat though because I've not got enough. Right, Majima down. Wasn't amazing, but wasn't too bad. Alright. A nice little cutscene from the past here. One of the most cursed things in this game is what you're about to see, and this is Majima with 2 eyes. I hate it. So this is one of those voice cutscenes, so you need to mash 2 buttons here. Majima with 2 eyes is not okay. It needs to be stopped. And something funny with it as well is it's meant to be a younger Majima, but they use the like a more modern model for it. So he's meant to be really young here. Well, not really young, but a lot younger than what he is. But this bro just looks like regular old Majima with like 2 eyes. I'm like, oh no, not Majima. So basically, Majima was meant to be with Saejima when he did the hit, but basically this little event here stops Majima from going to the hit. Right. So now we get to play as Tanemura. I really like this character. It's kind of sad that he doesn't get to be in other games anymore for various reasons. I really like this guy. So Tanemura is a police detective. Not exactly the cleanest police detective, but he's a police detective nonetheless. He's got some really cool abilities if you actually level up his heat moves and stuff. We're not going to do that, sadly. We used to, but we're not going to do it in this run now because of the route changes. So because we're right by Embassy Pawn, we're going to take another quick stop there to buy, you guessed it, some more baseball bats. We also need a couple of fake silver plates to bribe a guy. So, 2 of those, and 9 of those. The Tanemura here genuinely needs like probably one of the more amount of bats, but he doesn't have enough money to buy the most amount of bats. So the reason why we overbuy with the other characters is because we can trade items and weapons from each of the characters to each other in the finale. And basically Tanemura is going to get all the surplus bats that we don't need for the other characters. This guy's going to go, you need metal plates, but you give him the fake ones, and you're like, well, you didn't specify they had to be real. I was taking a drink. Which is actually very funny that he's like, we didn't specify they needed to be real. Come on, guys. Who do you think I am, a clean cop? Because, you know, it's a Yakuza game. The police have to be corrupt. In some way. Or, like, you know, not 100% clean. So, something that I haven't really mentioned up till now is there is a mechanic with bats that you can abuse. So when you use a flurry of blows with a bat or a hit with a bat, it uses some of its durability. But if you cancel from a hit to flurry of blows fast enough, the durability meter doesn't go down. But also, if you finish a fight and the game fades out before flurry of blows finishes its animation, it doesn't use the durability for that flurry of blows. So, during this swing, the fight will finish, and it doesn't use the durability. So we still have another 2 uses of that bat, the flurry of blows, because flurry of blows takes up over like about half of the durability. That was Mr. Try and hit me. We hit him. So Tanemura is actually main mechanic of his own. He's the parries things. So basically he parries people and knocks them over, and then he has heat moves that arrests people. And the arresting moves instantly KO enemies. So we use that, well, I used to use that to kill enemies fast. Right now we're going to run up this guy's over one. And there we go. Because it fades out before it ends. Not only did I use it early enough from the square to not use any of the durability, so basically I lost no durability from playing like that. So I still have all the uses of that bat. So Tanemura relies more on that at the start to save him on bat usages than the other characters do. The other characters, you can kind of just like wave your bats around without much care. Kiryu, you have to be a little bit more frugal with them, but not too frugal. But you want to make sure you don't run out at any point with any of the characters, basically. Because otherwise you're a little bit screwed. Right, so now we're playing as Tanemura and we have access to Little Asia, which is the little Chinese area, so of Kamurocho. So we're going to run around here. One thing I do love is his running animation. I love how pointed his toes are. So Tanemura also, there might be random radio calls and stuff in the bottom right hand corner. It tells you about different altercations and stuff you can go stop and you can go fight more fights and things. You don't have to do any of them though, but we're gonna just continue on with the story. So we go here, this is Little Asia. So this is a restaurant where we kind of grew up, so we know the guys here. Okay, this is Zhao. The game, this series uses another guy called Zhao in later games and who's also based, so shoutouts to Zhao across all games.
Hmm? Ah.
Right, so that's our hideout now. So this is Tanemura's hideout, so this is where he comes to take breaks and things, and you can use that for healing and stuff casually, but we don't need to do that. So now we need to run to Medora. As I said, look in the bottom right is a little thing about a dine and dash on North Big Street. We don't need to go and worry about that. One thing I do need to worry about though is fight spawns, because Tanemura also has fight spawns, and Tanemura isn't as good at dealing with regular enemies through punching as the other characters are. Because as I said, he's based on parrying and using heat moves. So that's not really his forte. But bats don't care about whether your forte is hitting or not, or blocking or parrying. Oh yeah, so this is Yatsuko. If you've noticed, Yatsuko looks a lot like Lily. By that I mean Yatsuko is Lily. So Lily basically took Akiyama's money and went off the grid, basically. Alright. Now they've taken Lily, so... Oh no. One thing I do want to do is I want to buy... those two abilities. Every character we buy knockdown evasion for, because if you do get knocked down, pressing X, you hit the ground to get back up again is faster than laying on the ground like a lemon for like 4 seconds. If you do hit the timing for it, which I never do because I actually am sucking, or I suck at video games. Right, so now we get a nice set piece here. I didn't mention these big areas where we have fights and things. These are called set pieces. QTE. So again, in Yakuza fashion, we don't need to deal with any of the enemies here. We just run past them. Another QTE that happens here because there's a guy on top of us trying to throw logs at us. Right, so what enemy's going to come out today here? But we can again ignore them. We're going to run around here. So this area here is full of oil. That's not nice. Oil's slippery. It will fall over. So what we're going to do is we're going to be going in and out of fighting stance throughout this entire area, because otherwise you fall over, you slip over, and you lose time. But by pushing the fighting stand button, you go slow enough to not fall over. So you can just run through the whole area like that. Otherwise you're tripping over constantly. This area here, like that, and down here. So something funny with Tanemura is he's the only character who is legally, technically allowed to wield a firearm, but you can't equip guns as Tanemura at all in this game. Some fights would be so much easier if you could. Have to be careful here. There's a field of heat you need to avoid here. Well, I got field of heat, so. I'm gonna have to sandbag a little bit here because I don't want to waste my bats. That guy, there we go. I'm just being overly safe. If I was doing a PB attempt, I would totally put on more bats and use them, but because I want to make sure I don't screw myself over here in a no reset scenario. Playing a little bit safe. So we find that these two, Arai and Shibata here, are the ones that took Lily. There she is, or Yatsuko as she's known now. That's pretty poor Tanemura Chapter 1, but whatever, we deal. Right, Tanemura Chapter 2. Tanemura Chapter 2 is also a kind of a longish one. So we got a long cutscene here of Tanemura talking to Yatsuko here about various things. So basically explaining that his dad was involved with investigating the case that she's looking into, which she's actually Saijima's little, Saijima's, I don't know if it's little or big, but Saijima's sister, essentially. And she knows that Saijima is innocent of the hit. And Tanemura's dad was investigating the hit and then died because of it. So, we're in a big whirlwind here, but essentially Saijima is guilty of shooting a bunch of people with bullets, but basically they were rubber bullets and then someone else came along and finished the hit. So technically Saijima is not guilty of murder. He's guilty of assault though and grievous bodily harm, but you know, not the same, and it really isn't the same thing, but you know. But yeah, someone else finished the hit and Saitama took the fall for it, essentially. Saitama, of course, is unaware of this. He doesn't know about any of this. And Yatsuko's trying to prove his kind of innocence of murder, which is why she wanted all the money from Akiyama. And now Tanemura wants to know what's happening because basically his dad died because he was investigating the same case. So that's why Tanemura's involved in this game's story mode, because he wants to know why his dad had to die and why his dad died. Right. Before I go... So this is actually one of the cooler elements of Tanemura's character I like. He knows multiple languages. One of them is Tagalog, which is kind of a cool character trait for him to know Tagalog as well. I believe he knows Chinese and Japanese as well, because he's Chinese if I remember correctly. But yeah, it's just a cool character trait for him. I just like he knows multiple languages. So, Nair here is not only named after the neutral heir from Smash Brothers, of course. She is your trainer. She teaches you abilities and stuff. But she's meant to be like the parry master, and as I said, that's Tanemura's thing. He parries people. Oh my god, I need to go here. I hate Little Asia so much. So, Mei here is, Mei Hua here is telling us about how her dad kind of got nicked by these boys, so we're gonna go track him down real quick. So the markers tell us to go get the 100 million yen because that's technically our objective, but the objective of saving Zhao takes over, so we're gonna go do that. There can be a fight spawn down here if you're not careful. Hello, boys. Alright. I'm going to use one bat here and try and hit all of them in the same bat flurry of blows. So we're going to go here and... Didn't get all of them, but that guy only had a couple of hits in him, so that's pretty good. So bro's thanking us. Now we're gonna go find the million yen in the 100 million yen. So something with this, you can go. It's in the underground parking lot. You can go there, but it's actually closer to one of the taxi spawn locations. So we're gonna go down here. Talk to this taxi. Go to the underground lot because otherwise you're walking around in the underground for ages because where the doors are. It's faster to go to that taxi, come here, and it's right here. And now we need to go back to Pink Street because we need to go to the rooftops there. Right, so we need to get in touch with Katsuragi, which is a Yakuza dude that we believe is involved with the case of Tanemura's dad, etc., etc. So we're going to go up to the rooftops. Basically, he sends us a picture of where he's hiding. I know exactly where that is because, of course, I do. I didn't really prove myself earlier when I went the wrong way with Akiyama, but you know. So this guy is up here, down here, around here. It's this dude with the flowers. So the phone number we need to speak to Katsuragi is hidden in the flowers. So he's going to hand over the flowers to us. And then we're going to phone Katsuragi. And this is just them deciding they need to, you know, get together and have a nice conversation with each other. done that. Now we got to go back to the restaurant because we need to rest up for a little bit because we're not meeting him until tomorrow. Right, in the storyline, but yeah. So, I'm gonna go around here, up here. It's a little bit faster to run than it is to take the taxi to do this on this visit because of where we are. We're kind of in the middle of a taxi location and where we need to be. So you can go through the entrance of Little Asia here and weave your way around it, but with the movement engine in this game, I find that really difficult to do. So I go around here and go in a slightly easier location for me. Which is right here. You get caught on everything in here. Is one of the harder areas to move around in the game. It's right here, then there's a restaurant. So we have the briefcase. Now we're going to go over here, talk to him, go, okay, I'll stay here, and then that sets up for the end of this. Right, so now we're going to go talk to Katsuragi. Right, one thing I should mention is I'm playing on the console version of this game. I'm playing on the PS5 version. Well, I say PS5. I'm playing the PS4 version on my PS5. Basically, on the PC version of this game, you can skip this next walk and talk, which is an unskippable cutscene. By disconnecting your controller and tabbing out of the game and then tabbing back in, then it lets you skip all the text. I can't do that, so we're gonna have to sit through the cutscene. So I'm gonna, when the cutscene starts, I'm gonna stand up and stretch my legs and go for the toilet real quick, and I'll be back at the end of it. So give me 2 seconds. I'll be right back.
谷村さん、あなたはお父さんの死の真相が知りたいとそうおっしゃってましたね。
ああ、そうだ。俺の親父の死、あれは25年前の上野義治襲撃事件に関係しているんじゃないのか。
私は回りくどい交渉は好きじゃありません。はっきり言いましょう。違います。
違うだと。今さら何を言ってるんだ。俺は柴田が新井に殺された時現場にいたんだ。あんたと柴田が25年前の事件で繋がっていたことは分かってる。親父はあの事件があんたと柴田の仕組んだものだということに気がつき、そのことが原因で殺されたんだ。そうだろ。
確かに谷村さん、あなたのお父さんはあの襲撃事件に柴田、そして私が関係していたことは突き止めていました。25年前のあの事件は私と柴田が描いた絵です。私はあの日のあの時間、冴島大河が一人で襲撃に来ることを知っていた。
ちょっと待て。確か25年前のあの事件、あんたは被害者の一人だったはずだ。どうして生き残ることができたんだ。
だから知っていたと言ったでしょう。私は事前に冴島がどうやって襲撃してくるかも知っていた。
防弾チョッキか。
ま、そんなところです。私はあらかじめ備えをしていた。だから助かることができた。それまでです。
つまりあんたは柴田と共謀し、自分の組織の幹部を抗争に見せかけて殺させる絵を描いた。自らが死ぬ可能性があるにもかかわらず。
当時私は22歳。
But they're talking about how the hit was set up and
若い二人が縦割りの組織で成り上がるにはそうする必要があったんです。
あんたは事件の後、まんまと上野清和会の
and
若
how
頭
your
に
dad
柴
and
田
all
も
this stuff.
登場界で直系へと昇格した。あんたたちの計画が成功したというわけか。
ええ、まあそうなります。
やけにあっさり話すんだな。
もうあれから25年が経ちます。今この事実が警察に伝わったところで私が罪に
So as I mentioned, we have the I mentioned when we were playing as Akiyama, the
だが極道社会ではそれは通じないだろう。
the briefcase being a really good
だ
weapon.
からあんたは安子さんを使って
But after
柴田組
this
の関
cutscene
係者を
here,
殺させ、
we're gonna have a set
新井に指
piece,
示して柴田を殺した。
and the set piece we get to use the briefcase for 2
そういう
fights.
こと ですね。
Honestly,
あ
it's
くまで
bliss.
自分の犯行ではないというつもりか。
It's an insanely broken weapon
まあいい。
that does a lot of damage and helps set up
25 年
behemoths.
前、俺の親父はなぜ殺され
So,
る必要
as
があ
I
った。
said earlier about Tanimura, all he cares about is
あな
finding
た
out
のお
why his
父
dad
さん
died.
谷村さんは
Basically, his dad died because he found out too much and the police are corrupt.
私と柴田が
Welcome to
動いている
Yakuza,
ことを突き止めた。
guys.
だがその捜査の過程でもっと大きなものを発見してしまったんです。
それは何なんだ。
That's the Yakuza classic
です
right there.
あなたのお父さんは事件の捜査をしていくうちに警察内部の不正の事実を知ってしまったんですよ。
警察内部の不正だと。
25年前の事件、あの事件は警察によって捜査されたものだったんです。冴島大河ではない事件の真犯人を隠すためのね。
真犯人だと。
ええ、そうです。あの事件、冴島大河は襲撃を行った。
Watch look how long this cutscene is. It
でも
takes so long, this
真の犯
cutscene.
人は別
It
に
is
もう
really
一人
nice
い
you
る
can skip
ん
it
で
on
す
the。PC version. I just play this
Yakuza
game on my
に知っていると言
console
った
because it's easier for me to do so.
真犯人ってのは
Console and PC have
そいつのことなんだ。
separate leaderboards for
あなたのお
this
父さん
reason,
は
but also because of the
そ
load
の真
remover on
犯人の
PC.
正体と真犯人を知りながらもそれをもみ消した警察
PC
の
has
不
a
正
few
を知ってしまった。
differences, like cutscene skips are a little bit different on PC
だから殺されたんですよ。
because you have to do menuing for cutscenes. You have to press
親
yes
父
to
を
skip
殺したやつってのは
cutscenes, but in this
So
version you can just
真犯人ってのは
mash the start button to skip them. So right here, that's a cutscene. You can just mash start to skip it. You have to press start and then right then X to skip them on the PC version of this game. And also the load times are a little bit worse than the console versions. So you lose a little bit of time there. So there's a bit of swings and roundabouts. You get cutscene skip there, but you don't get a break. But you do get like, you know, more consistent timing methods and etc. like that. So we don't have to fight those first guys. These next group we do have to fight. I love how he runs with the briefcase. It's very funny. The animation is. Back that guy. Back on his face. There we go. Now this guy makes us drop the briefcase and he's going to run off with it. So we got to pull out a baseball bat for this one, so we lose the briefcase for this fight. 07 to the briefcase. So something I make sure is I get this guy. That guy. There we go. Now we're going to run after this dude. Again, jumping is fast. Oh, then we run up the stairs. He disappears from this cutscene, which is very funny. Alright, we're going to run around here. And he's done. Gets hit with the bottle and he falls over.
終わりだな。
Away, you're finished. Now we get a couple of dudes here that come up. We get to use the briefcase again, so hog for that. Hog all over for briefcase. so now we deal with those guys, we're gonna run down and try and get away from the Yakuza guys that are chasing us for the $100 million that we're just casually carrying around with us. We're just gonna have a chase section where we run away, which is actually kind of cool. You don't get many of these. But we're gonna run away from these guys. I'm playing absolute butt cheeks though, so you know. Much better. And you can cut corners, etc., as long as you don't blow up on the items. Right, so now we're in this area. This dude in the purple is a rather annoying man to deal with, so we're going to try not to deal with him. So this guy is very annoying. In my notes it just says try to hit him. Easy. Alright, cool. Alright, man. Bro falls over. Ragdolling. Not as good ragdolls as the other games, but you know, it's pretty good. And that's the end of the chapter. Right, so Tanimura chapter 3 now.
Nani? Nani?
So Hisai here is telling us about how he's on our side and he wants to help us out. So he's going to help us with some investigation work. So we're going to go to the police station and look for some paperwork to try and prove some innocence or guilt or whatever. No, I want to go. I'm set. That was time loss for no reason. Right, so this is the police archive area where there's a bunch of documentation and stuff for different things and different people. So we're looking for a particular piece of evidence here. It's actually down here. In there. It goes on about Saguchi and all this other stuff and corruption, etc., etc. So we now know what we need to do and what we need to, you know, report in or look into. So now he's going to go off on his way, we're going to go off on our way. We got up here. Taxiing from where we are is a little bit faster than running from where we were. So when we were in the middle of Pink Street, it was better to run, but from here it's better to, but from the bottom of Pink Street it's better to taxi up and run. Go down here. Try not to get caught in any of the areas. Into here. And yeah, that's the end of the chapter, by the way. Easy money. Chapter 3 completed. Right.
Oi.
Now that we got all the money and we know what's happening, who's dealing with who, who's doing what, we're going to take all this money and we're going to go give it back to Akiyama. What I do want to do though is I want to make sure I stock up that. because I need them in the upcoming bits. So we're going to go back to Akiyama's place in Sky Finance because not only do Tanemura and Akiyama know each other, he has Akiyama's money now. And Lily's kind of gone AWOL and disappeared. So the safest place for it is to go back to where it came from. So let's go. Great. Again, around the back we go. And around here. Get that cutscene. Alright, so now Tanemura tells everything to Akiyama about what's happening with Lily, who he now knows is called Yatsuko. Yatsuko Saitama, I believe. And Kido's also looking for where Arai is, because Arai, who we met at the start in Akiyama's Chapter 1, has gone AWOL as well, so we need to know what's happening with him as well. That's a yikes. Right, so once we've had this big discussion, Tanemura's going to report what he knows to the police. And report his next move. Then we're going to go to the docks. Right, we've got to go meet Mishima at the pier. So we've got to go take a taxi to go to the pier. The closest taxi's down here. You can get a fight spawn down this bottom end of South 10th Street if you're not careful. I've been bodied by it before. Right, we're going to go to the docks. Alright, so Mishima here is going to tell us that he's basically on death's door. Because he did some messed up stuff and now he's basically out with the wrong person, and then Saguchi here comes in and shoots him. Yeah, Saguchi, of course, is a corrupt cop because it's a Yakuza game, they have to be corrupt. Another big altercation, Saguchi's gonna shoot a warning shot at Tanemura, who doesn't even flinch like the beast he is, and now I'm gonna get the chase section. So if you give me a second, I'm gonna have to concentrate here because this is a pretty hard chase section. Got it, there we go. That's the quick kill for the boat. If you can get ahead of the boat and ram into it at the front, it just does a brick load of damage. And now we get to fight Saguchi. That was a really good boat, by the way. It's the best I've done it in the last like 2 weeks. Right, so we actually want to fail the first QTE here. We're going to mash square to fail it because the success is actually longer than the fail. And then we want to get, and there's no damage that comes from it. The second one here, there's a damage that comes from it, so we actually want to get it. It actually does quite a bit of damage, actually. It's actually quite a lot. You want that? So it gets rid of the green bit and puts them into the yellow bar. I'm going to pull out a bat and go, one. Okay. Boot him in the chest. Easy, Saguchi. Or Sugichi, whatever the hell he's called. Don't care. Bro's down. There's 5 cutscenes we've got to skip here. That's 1. That's 2. That's 3. That's 4. And that's 5. And that's part 3 complete. That's Tanemura done. Now we get to play as Kiryu, guys. Let's go. We're in it. We're in the Kiryu section now. Pogs in chat, guys, because we're here. We made it. We're playing as the main character now. Or who was the main character. Our true boy, the main protagonist. Right, so Hamazaki here also washes up on Kiryu's beach, much like Saejima, but at a much later point. So, Hamazaki here obviously stabbed Kiryu. Kiryu, of course, being a Giga Chad and actually understanding why people do what they do, forgives him. And Hamazaki does, of course, apologize, but Kiryu had already forgiven him because it's Kiryu, the ironclad will of that man. So we actually get we get a little short section here of us being at the orphanage. This game doesn't have an Okinawa area like Yakuza 3 does. I love the Okinawa area that we have in Yakuza 3. I love it. Part of the reason why I like Yakuza 3 is I like that area. Downtown Ryuzuchi, whatever it's called. I can't remember what it is off the top of my head. But yeah. So, we get to see the kids again. So we get Aiji, Koji, and Ayako there. I got a name for a second, so I have to wait for it to come up. But yeah, we get a hideout here. We never come back here after this chapter, by the way. There's no point in getting that hideout because you can't come back here. The Haruka here, of course, is like, is because, how could you forgive him and how could you do this? And then Kiryu's like, I'm sorry, but some people do bad things and sometimes they deserve to be forgiven. And, you know, you be that kind of guy that just forgives and forgets. So now that we know what we're doing, we're going to go down to, into Okinawa. We're going to go to the police station. And there's a woman causing havoc down here. It's Yatsuko.
No.
And she's been like trying to tell these policemen that her brother is, you know, innocent. And we go, oh cool, we can speak to her. So we take her to Tamashiro's office. So this is Tamashiro's office. You fight him in this office if played Yakuza 3. Right, so during this conversation, the prison guards are here. And look who it is, it's Saito. I didn't talk much about Saito in the Saejima sections, because Saejima's really good at dealing with Saito. Kiryu, not so much. Saito just blasts you with attacks and doesn't care about who you are and what you do. So we're gonna start the fight by throwing people into the ground until we level up. Quickly buy some abilities. 1, 2, 3. Okay, down. Sorry, Saito can be a bit of a ball ache, so I'm trying to make sure that I'm okay. Okay, that wasn't too bad. Run around here. Ignore all these police guys, because why would we fight them? This is a... Okay, thank you for throwing a smoke bomb at me. Around here. Who's this guy? Get around the hitbox. Pick up that ammo. We're actually picking up items because we actually want to sell a bunch of items as curious and want to pick up a few. That up. From round here. Saito's gonna appear and try and hit us again, but that fight is exceedingly annoying. And that's the end of Saito. Alright, we don't have to deal with Saito again now. Saito done. He done. He done. That fight there is very annoying because Saito just doesn't care about what you're doing and what you need him to do. Saito just doesn't care. Alright, so now we're in Kiryu's chapter 2, which obviously starts with a cutscene with Tanemura.
Yo.
Akiyama appears. Right, so during this, Kiryu and Yasuko basically make their way to Kamurocho. So we're about to, you know, play as Kiryu again in Kamurocho, so let's go. So the first place we're going to go is where Kiryu always goes in Kamurocho eventually, whenever he goes into Kamurocho for any reason. We're going to go to Serena, because where else would we go? So, Yasuko's explaining stuff to Date. Sorry, I kind of message came through my phone. I had to look at it. But yeah, so they're just having a conversation about all the stuff's happening. Kiryu's like, Date, can you look after Yasuko for a bit? I'm gonna go and take a look around and see what's happening. And Date's like, I can do that for you, bro. So that's our hideout with Kiryu. Is that one there? The Date here is basically going to be like, I don't really trust Yasuko, and Kiryu's like, I kind of know that, but you know. That's fine. Right, and he tells us about going to get the Tiger Drop and all that stuff. We don't need Tiger Drop and stuff at Kiryu, because we're going to buy baseball bats again. Alright, so something that I didn't grab as the other characters, there is a item you can grab from this guy by the locker keys. Called the locker key radar. But it's useful for selling because we need money. That's the end of the chapter, by the way. You walk up to the Millennium Tower and the chapter just ends. Right, so start this chapter, we're by the Millennium Tower. Oh, sorry, there's Daigo. Hi, Daigo. I haven't mentioned Daigo. Daigo is the 6th chairman of the Tojo clan. that Kiryu helped put into power. Right, now it's raining, so we're going to run down here to Ebisu Pawn. The jazzy music comes back here, which I love. Into Ebisu Pawn. Sell what items? I'm gonna buy 17 battles. Right, so now we need to go back to Serena. Because we need to go check on Yasuko, etc. Because we tried to look for Fleischmann, we couldn't find him in the chapter prior. Yeah, that's a fight spawn there, that was very annoying. Around him, there we go, luckily. That's Serena. And Date's on the floor. Oh no. Yeah, Yasuko basically like drugged Date and knocked him out. So she could get away. Alright, now we've got to find Yasuko now. There's a couple of... That's a really annoying fight spot. Bye. Yeah. Right, since that guy spawned, don't think there might be one around the corner here, but there may not be. There's not good. If there's one down this street, it's really annoying to try and avoid him. That's a fight spawn there. Around him. Around here like this. And they're going to go up there. So basically this whole section is just getting us back to Purgatory essentially. We're going to go up here, we're going to go into Children's Park, and we're going to enter the manhole. As you can see, she's with Tanemura and Akiyama, because obviously she's met them throughout the story. So she trusts them. And the manhole's open, so we know where they've gone. So we're going to have a nice cheeky fight here with Tanemura and Akiyama. Because of course, the heroes have to fight each other at some point. So it means that every person, every protagonist in this game has fought Kiryu. Spider-Man fights him, these two fight him. Right, we call this the Akimura fight because there's Akiyama and Tanemura. So hopefully I can avoid all the heat here, so I'm going to go there. Nope, I didn't avoid it. You can avoid this if you get the right hits on the guys, but I didn't get that there. This is one of the funnier looking QTEs in my opinion. This is good. I love it. Did we get a bat out game? That was so dumb. But usually you only lose about 30 seconds from getting that kill the heat, but I lost more there because I just couldn't get myself back in the fight afterwards. And there we go. Up here into Purgatory. I'm back here. Have the controls get all weird on me for a second there for no reason. That's the end of the chapter. That's chapter 3 done. Alright. Right, so Curious chapter 4 is where they all kind of come together and start being like, maybe we could all do this together. So they're having this big long conversation about what's going on, what's happening, and what they're going to do, and what they're going to do about it. So of course Akiyama goes for the smoke because they're all chain smokers in this franchise. And then Kiryu comes up with the idea of talking to Katsuragi to try and work out what we're doing. So, and then that comes to the conclusion of we need to go to Kamurocho Hills because that's what Katsuragi asks us to do. So it's another voice cutscenes, we're going to double mash. Yeah, so going on about how you're not the Yakuza guy I thought you were, Kiryu. But yeah, so basically he tells Kiryu he wants to meet him at the top of Kamurocho Hills, but he has to come alone. So Kiryu being Kiryu goes, yeah, I can get there alone. No one questions him, apart from these guys who don't really know him. They're like, it's dangerous. And Date's like, yeah, you can do it, don't worry about him. He's fine. Don't worry, we got this. So yeah, Flores gets in contact with us because obviously we just had a conversation with him. Because he, of course, we knows here we're going to be heading to Kamurocho Hills, so that's what we're going to go and do. Alright, so we've got to go here. Up to East Park Boulevard. Around here, around the guy, into these toilets. Into this toilet here, there's a door at the back, which takes you back here. Head to the roof now. Right, so, there's a dude with a gun back here, we need the gun, so I'm going to go back here and deal with this dude first with the gun. Around here. Okay, so that... These last guys are the map punch him. Hit that guy in the face a couple of times. There we go. Right, I've been really bored of this section recently, so hopefully I can play a little bit better than usual. Right, so now we're heading to Kamurocho Hills. Right. Guy pretending to be mannequin here, and then we're gonna get swung at by Nakano Watari, and this guy in orange is, I hate this guy. I genuinely hate this guy with every fibre of my being. So he's much like Psycho, where he just doesn't care about what you're doing. Okay, so now we're going to be... I have to punch him now, which is annoying. Oh, okay. Okay, can you get off me, please? Okay. I've used a lot of bats, so I can't really... Okay, I hate that guy so much. I just lost like 2 minutes to him trying to kill him. Again, I'm playing safe with bats because I don't want to run out before the end. So playing safe there is definitely better. Right. Five Knuckles is the only one you need to care about with the bats, so we're gonna... Right, so that wasn't the end of Nakano Watari. We've got to deal with him again in this room. So, Bane of my existence back again. Once he's dealt with, the other two guys are easy, but Nakano Watari is the hard one. Even harder when you whip half your hits. Alright, that was kind of weird, but whatever. I have to sandbag on a couple of these fights now, because of Nakano Watari bodying me twice. Shoddy pistol, there we go. Up here. Round here. Okay, so this is Suzumiya. Suzumiya just has a shotgun, so he could be kind of annoying with shotgun. So you wanna... Is that him? And that guy. Run over here. Why is everyone grabbing me? Everyone's grabbing me right now. Right, so I've got to find this guy's shotgun, wherever it is. I need the shotgun, the shotgun. Because we need to shoot some people with it. in here. Suzumiya comes back with a different shotgun because we stole his one. We're around here, gonna shoot him. Make sure the guys get up because I just want to make sure that the other guys come through the door. That's all those guys dealt with. Right, time to go upstairs. Got a bat in here. I'll sandbag in here. I won't use 2 bats in here. I will use my remaining of the 4 I've got. There's something else with this game that you can do is enemies that are bouncing in between walls take more damage from being bounced into the walls. So you can do that to deal even more damage to enemies. I want the shoddy pistol from that guy. I'm gonna drop it here real quick. That, pick that. Run in here. Guy comes up behind me with katana, I'm just gonna be like, nah bro, X that. Dead guy. Right, I'm gonna quickly heal up actually, just because I have taken a lot of damage from kind of Atari, so I'm gonna. No HP. Don't grab me. Put a bat, walk in here. There's a guy with a big HP bar I don't want to deal with in here. It's the guy with the long stick. So I'm gonna run around here and go. Oh, I didn't mean to drop kick. I did not mean to drop kick there. Right. Run out here, run around here. There. Pull out a bat. Here. That guy. Right, just making sure I'm. can find the gun that the guy with the gun drops, it makes it so much easier. Well, there it was. I found it at the very end, bro. Please talk to the right guy. Alright, cool. Right, I need bats. Upstairs here. And this is the end of the camera jiggles thing. So, the enemies who we need to deal with. Guy in green, and Nakano Atari comes back again. Hate him. That was okay. Not amazing, but that was fine. Alright, that's the end of the chapter. We got up here and Katsuragi's here with a couple people and they kind of all get shot. Hope 7 to that. Right, so we're in the finale now. Couple of cutscenes here, just the guys preparing for what they got to go do. Right, Sajima's taking a quick break outside. Haruka's going to phone us and tell us that Hamazaki got hurt protecting Kiryu in Okinawa and he's now passed away. He dies off screen. And yeah, so basically what we're going to be doing in this chapter, that surplus of bats that I saved with Akiyama and Saitama are basically going to be what's used to fuel the final few boss fights with weapons.
Money?
Have we done that? We get told about passing time, but we need to go into here. They've given a minute to get this right, because if you get this wrong, the entire run just goes to absolute crap. Right, so Akiyama. 2, 3. Saitama 1, 2, 3. Nomura's got 2. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. That's all I've got on the surplus. He tells us about swapping characters there, but we're gonna go now. Right, cool. Final fights now. So each character has a final boss here. First one here is Akiyama's. This is Arai. So basically the plan was we went up to the top of Millennium Tower with a bunch of money, then used a helicopter to blow the money off, much like what happened in Yakuza 1. And it pretty much lured out all the people that were involved. So Arai's involved. There's a Kido, Daigo's involved because Daigo want power. And a guy called Minakato, who is basically the chief of police. So, you know, corrupt police, as I said. Right, so a rise fight here. We need to quit some bats, then get drunk with our last beer. So that beer we bought in Akiyama's chapter 2 is useful here. That's the alright fight. So you want to hit him into the big block behind you, the big orange thing, because that wall splats him. The other walls, like the pipes around the other sides, don't really splat you. I don't really splat him, so you don't really want to hit him into those. He can be a bit of an annoying fight because he can just do what he did at the start there and kick you. If you're not careful, you get you get destroyed by him because he has a QTE and he has a feel the heat that takes like a minute to go through if you don't stun him in the right way. So you want to stun him in the right way to avoid that completely. But yeah, so Kiddo fights Saejima here. Saijima's talking about how, like, you know, what you've got to put him to the test. And Kiddo's like, I need to go through with what I feel is right. I need to do my own thing. And Saejima says his world-famous line here. He says, "Balls out, Kiddo." Everyone loves that line. Then they headbutt each other. Chef's kiss level of Yakuza moment right there. Right, just to make sure I'm gonna go back in and grab the target. Kiddo has a couple of healing phases where he heals. We don't need to worry about that, we can just clap him out of it. The reason why I pick up the item is because he does this twice. So we get to clap him out of it twice. There's a QTE there that you can fail. You get up and just clap him. The back hit of my hand smacked him. And that's Kiddo. Kiryu's got a much harder fight we need to do with Daigo here. But of course the shirts have come off, because I didn't mention outside wearing Kiddo, but the shirts come off because they have to. Now the shirts come off again because they have to here. Akiyama doesn't pull his shirt off because Akiyama is a dignified man of loan shark origins. Right. Daigo here is actually a surprisingly annoying fight. You don't really... His attacks aren't what's annoying. Is if you splat him on a wall in the wrong way and you don't have a bat in hand ready to go, he just kind of doesn't care about what you're doing. I'm screwed now. Yep, I knew it. When Kiryu started whipping the hits, I knew I was done. Right now I need to actually do this fight the old way. that wasn't too bad. I'm getting what happened there. So, something with this engine of the game, for Yakuza 3 and 4, on easy mode, if bosses are getting up and you whiff 2 attacks and then hit them, they won't block the strong attack. You don't really get to see it that much in the runs anymore because we've kind of rooted out punching people in a lot of places, but it is useful to know how to do fights like that if you need it, like I needed it there. But yeah, this is Munakata. Munakata is just a dude, and he just summons a bunch of his boys to fight us. So it's 1 versus 100 here. This is why Tanimura needs the most amount of baseball bats, because he needs to be able to clap all of these guys. Right, so I'm going to be trying to take out Munakata first, because there's a bunch of cutscenes that play if you don't do that, so you want to make sure that you get him out of the way first. Also, he just runs away from you and shoots you. He's the most annoying one, and I say that as if the other people aren't even more annoying than he is. So this is, in my opinion, one of the weaker endgame fights in the Yakuza game. Okay, Munakata, get here, you. And he's out. Cool. Bro is down. Oh yeah, I better mention time is at the end of this. It comes up pretty quickly if all things go well here. Gonna run away. Okay. Do the guys. Annoyingly, you just kind of have to swing here because these guys are doing the time. Okay, that was 4. I just swap the bats around? What the hell am I doing? You stop dodging me, please. That guy. The time should be when this guy dies, but hopefully it's now. Oh, and that's time. Oh, I didn't go overestimate. I thought I was going to. It was getting kind of close. I was making a load of different mistakes. But yes, didn't go overestimate. But yeah, so that's Yakuza 4. Hopefully you enjoyed the first run of really longathon for this year. Shout outs to the Yakuza speedrunning community. Shout outs to all the guys that worked on Yakuza 4. If you want to learn any of the Yakuza games, you can go on speedrun.com, you can join the Discord, there's notes for like all of these games, and there's people that are willing to help you learn all over the shop. I've run a few of these games, I love running all of them. I learned this one end of last year because I was just really interested in it, and I kind of like it. I first started running Yakuza 3, that's one I would recommend trying first. Yeah. Hopefully you guys enjoyed, and look forward to what comes up throughout the really longathon. Stop streaming. I need to shut up.
you